Paris. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Ethiopia as a teacher in June of 1963 to July of 1965. Bill Graff, the same person I was with on 911, by the way, came in and knocked on the door and said, "Kennedy just got assassinated. Someone's just been shot. It's on the news." And so we got up. This is probably 11 o'clock at night. And so we went in there and turned on our shortwave radio and BBC and tried to get the best coverage we could. Our Voice of America. Those are the two things that we were our main radio coverage. And then we got the whole story at that point. We were all really shocked on that one.
Lane Tracy. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Ethiopia from 1963 to 1965. At that time, I was a middle school, high school math teacher when I joined the Peace Corps, and so I expected to have a teaching job in mathematics. But it turned out when I got to Ethiopia, they had noticed that I'd had a course in guidance counseling and that I had a previous degree in social psychology, and they decided that they would use me instead as, well, they called it guidance counseling, but I think their original name was morals teaching. And so I thought this was sort of not the direction I wanted to go in, and I was looking for a way to get out of that, and I found that they had just started a brand new college of business in the university. I was assigned to the university, to the lab school of the university, so I was already at the university. And they needed somebody to teach a couple of math courses that they had in their curriculum, and they had people with degrees in economics trying to teach the course, and they were struggling with it and would be happy to turn it over to somebody else. So I engineered a trade. But before I finished my stint as a guidance counselor, I did teach one class. I taught the youngest children at the lab school how to use the Western-style toilet, because they were used to the flat-in-the-ground Eastern-style toilet and didn't know about pulling the chain to flush the thing. So that was my one big opportunity as a guidance counselor in Ethiopia.
Haskell Ward, and I served in Ethiopia 1963 to 65. I was the second group to go to Ethiopia. I was a teacher in Nazareth. The time of my life. It led to a transformation of my whole outlook on life, and I came back from Ethiopia, went back to UCLA where we had trained, and from that it has been all Ethiopia and all Africa for now nearly 50 years.
Okay, go ahead.
My name is Becky Englerth, and I was in the Peace Corps from June of 1964 to about July of 1966. The country I served in was Ethiopia, and I served in Daradawa. We were a really big group. There were about 300 of us. It was one of the largest Peace Corps groups ever, I think. We were the third group to go to Ethiopia.
Now I noticed you brought some things here.
Now this is a basket. They make these in Harar. They're famous for their basketry.
Okay, very nice. Okay.
They have all different sizes. This is a smaller one, but I have some that are bigger than that. And then this is the Ethiopian language. Although many different languages are spoken in Ethiopia, when I served, Haile Selassie was the emperor, and the language of his tribe was Amharic. And this is Amharic here. It's a language that's related a good bit to Arabic and Hebrew, and has some of the same base words. But the alphabet is entirely different.
Oh, I see that. Interesting.
In fact, my
James Quirin. I was in Ethiopia in 1965 to 67 in the Peace Corps, and I stayed 2 more years from 1967 to 69 with Ethiopian Ministry of Education teaching contract. So. Ethiopia was a life-changing experience, but one of the things that's a little humorous, I remember I was playing soccer with the students one time and I dislocated my shoulder. So they were looking for a local, this was a small town, grades 1 to 8 was the school. And they were looking for a doctor, but the foreign doctor wasn't in his clinic at that time. So they called upon an Ethiopian traditional doctor. He came and put it back in shape and no problem.
Ethiopia. My name is Diane Schroeder. I was in a very remote village called Emdeber in 1965 to 67.
I'm Audrey Weaver. In the Peace Corps name is Anas now, last name. And I was in Ethiopia. I lived in Addis Ababa, 65 to 67.
Hi, I'm Beverly Hayes. With my husband Tom Hayes, we were in Ethiopia from 1966 to 1968. I was with the nursing program there and taught nurses, and my husband taught English at the technical school in Addis Ababa.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm Ellen Shively. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Eritrea in 1968 to 1970. I was an instructor at a dresser school, and it's funny to tell Americans about being in a dresser school. Most of them think I made patterns. I have to tell them that a dresser was like an LPN nurse. They were prepared to either work in a hospital, on a ward, or in a rural area. My city in Eritrea was Asmara, and at the time I was there, it was Ethiopia, and it didn't gain its independence until 1993.
Okay, great, thank you.